Good morning, everybody. Tussie here again. I'm not gonna show you till a bit later because I haven't looked myself, and I haven't put my tongue in the holes. Um, I'm avoiding doing that. I don't want to do that. Ugh. And taste that jelly-like substance, after you've had an extraction. So I'm gonna leave them as is, not mess about, and give them a bit of time to heal. But I will show you later on, and we'll go from there. So my next appointment is the beginning of, where are we now? The beginning of August. Yeah, the beginning of August, at which time I guess he will take another one out, maybe two, but he's talking about one at a time. And when he checked my mouth yesterday, there were a lot of teeth that are still rock solid. The problem with that is, I think if I have whatever I have to replace the teeth that have gone, are going to have to fit around the remaining teeth if I leave them there, if you get what I mean. And I don't know how strong any sort of material would have to be to do that, or whether it's just, give them leeway and let them have the lots, the dentist. I did post a picture of me 7 years ago and smiling a big wide smile. That isn't the best picture because you can clearly see that the problem with the jaw was beginning to show itself. I'm not going to dwell on it, it's something that happened through medication. It's not something that can be altered, and it's something I have to live with, and that's, as we all do, we all have things that we have to live with. We all have things that we have to learn from, and gosh, there's a lot of things in my life far worse than losing some teeth and having a jaw necrosis problem. Far worse things that I don't know whether I'll ever be able to share, to be honest. Maybe some of it I will. Anyway, last night, still sleeping on here, it's all nicely made up and all nicely comfortable for the moment. Harriet! Harriet! It's now 8:30 in the morning, and she's been running around for the last 3 hours. Had her breakfast. Oh gosh, she's eaten it all. Good girl. Had her breakfast, and because she'd been off of food the last day or two, she's eaten, but not as much as she normally does. Might be the heat, I don't know. She's had all her breakfast, so that's good. But last night I decided, because I've not been sleeping, I decided to have an antihistamine to help me, and didn't take any morphine, just 2 paracetamol, and I fell asleep. Must have been about, I don't know, midnight or something. Straight through 5.5 hours again, and Madam woke me up. She was on this cushion, her favourite cushion, and then I felt her move down to my side, and there she lay. And then she moved up onto my tummy and fell back to sleep. So I couldn't get up for another hour because she was purring snoring on my stomach. And since I came back from the dentist yesterday, all she's done is want to sit on my lap. She hasn't done that before. Not for any length of time she hasn't. But all she's wanted to do is sit on my lap, lie at my side, or gaze up at me. And I guess that's her way of showing concern, is it? As I say, I've not been responsible for a cat before. The kids have had them. Alf and I were always doggy people, although Alf, all animals would gravitate towards Alf wherever we went. His mom had a big dog. I think it was a cross Rottweiler or something. Big dog called Bruce. And the name suited him. And the first time Alf took me home, it was late and everybody was in bed. And he took me home and made me tea. And Bruce came over, and I wasn't frightened of him. I was just, a little bit wary maybe, but he came over to me and put his head on my lap. And Alf said he never does that, ever, to anybody. So I was accepted by Bruce into the family. And then there was another dog, Winston, I think, named after Winston Churchill. But that was Alf's brother's dog. My mum had a couple of... My mum loved budgerigars. Used to have a big cage and used to have a budgerigar in it. And I always felt so sorry for that bird until Mum got two. And then there were two budgerigars. Don't ask me the gender, I've got no idea. But there used to be an advert on telly for Trill Seed, Trill, and it used to say, the budgies bounce with health. And being a little girl watching them, and I called my mum, I said, Mum, they're bouncing with health. The things that come to mind. So I'm sitting around having a lot of time to reflect. Plenty of medication should I need it, which I don't at the minute. I'm coping quite adequately, and I didn't have much pain in my gums. I had, I feel ever so strange speaking now. I had a little bit pain and aching, but like last time it didn't knock me out. And then it sort of started in earnest, which is what tends to happen with me, and travelled up the side of my face and up into my head, which was pounding last night. So I had to take a couple of paracetamols and lie down, with Harriet sitting here wondering what's wrong with her, what's up with her. But I played with her this morning for half an hour, and that's all she's getting from me until later on. But is it normal for cats to be so observant? I honestly don't know. We've had dogs that have been observant, and they always loved Alf, but dogs that would come to me if I was upset over anything and like head on my lap or getting up beside me, or the big liquid eyes staring at me. But I've never experienced this with a cat coming and sitting on my lap for ages until I had to move her, or lying on my stomach and just purring away and staring at me. I've never experienced that before. It's a nice feeling, as a couple of subscribers have said, Nurse Harriet, and it feels that way. It feels as though she's looking after me. She's like, my smile, everybody. Is it lovely? I can't not smile. I can't not laugh. So I'll be back later, hopefully talking a bit more sense, and hope you all have a fantastic Wednesday. I'll speak to you later. Bye-bye.